Chu was a hegemonic Zhou dynasty-era state. From King Wu of Chu in the early 8th century BCE, the rulers of Chu declared themselves kings on an equal footing with the Zhou kings. Though initially inconsequential, removed to the south of the Zhou heartland and practicing differing customs, Chu began a series of administrative reforms, becoming a successful expansionist state during the spring and autumn period. With its continued expansion, Chu became a great warring state's period power, and its culture a major influence on the Han dynasty, also known as Jing, Jingqiu and Xu. Chu included most of the present-day provinces of Hubei and Hunan, along with parts of Chongqing, Guizhou, Henan, Anhui, Jiangxi, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai. For more than 400 years, the Chu capital Danyang was located at the junction of the Dan and Xi rivers near present-day Sichuan County, Henan, but later moved to Ying. The ruling house of Chu originally bore the clan name Nai and lineage name Yan, but they are later written as Mi and Zhong, respectively. History. Founding. According to legends recounted in Sima Qian's records of the Grand Historian, the royal family of Chu descended from the Yellow Emperor and his grandson and successor Duozhu. Duozhu's great-grandson Wu Hui was put in charge of fire by Emperor Ku and given the title Zhurong. Wu Hui's son Lu Zhong had 6 sons, all born by caesarean section. The youngest, Jillian, adopted the ancestral surname Mi. Jillian's descendant Yu Zhong was the teacher of King Wen of Zhou. After the Zhou overthrew the Shang dynasty, King Cheng awarded Yu Zhong's great-grandson Zhongyi with the fiefdom of Chu and the hereditary title of Zhongyi. Built the first capital of Chu at Danyang, Western Zhou. In 977 BCE, during his campaign against Chu, King Zhou of Zhou's boat sank and he drowned in the Han River. After this death, Zhou ceased to expand to the south, allowing the southern tribes and Chu to cement their own autonomy much earlier than the states to the north. The Chu Viscount Zhongqiu overthrew Yi in 863 BCE but subsequently made its capital Zhou one of his capitals. In either 703 or 706, the ruler Zhongtong proclaimed himself king, establishing Chu's full independence from the Zhou dynasty. Spring and autumn period. In its early years, Chu was a successful expansionist and militaristic state that developed a reputation for coercing and absorbing its allies. Chu grew from a small state into a large kingdom. King Zhuang was even considered one of the 5 hegemons of the era. After a number of battles with neighboring states, sometime between 695 and 689 BCE, the Chu capital moved southeast from Danyang to Ying. Chu first consolidated its power by absorbing lesser states in its original area. Then it expanded into the north towards the North China Plain. The threat from Chu resulted in multiple northern alliances under the leadership of Jin. These alliances kept Chu in check, with the first major victory won at the Chengpu in 632 BCE. At the beginning of the 6th century BCE, Jin strengthened the state of Wu near the Yangtze Delta to act as a counterweight against Chu. Wu defeated Qi and then invaded Chu in 506 BCE. Following the Battle of Boju, it occupied Chu's capital at Ying, forcing King Zhou to flee to his allies in Yun and Suai. King Zhou eventually returned to Ying, but, after another attack from Wu in 504 BCE, he temporarily moved the capital into the territory of the former state of Ruo. Chu began to strengthen Yu in modern Zhejiang to serve as allies against Wu. Yu was initially subjugated by King Huai of Wu until he released their king Guojian, who took revenge for his former captivity by crushing and completely annexing Wu. Warring States period. Freed from its difficulties with Wu Chu next gen in 479 BCE and overran Huai to the north in 447 BCE. This policy of expansion continued until the last generation before the fall to Qin. However, by the end of the 5th century BCE, the Chu government had become very corrupt and inefficient, with much of the state's treasury used primarily to pay for the royal entourage. Many officials had no meaningful task except taking money and Chu's army, while large was of low quality. In the late 390s BCE, King Wu of Chu made Wu Qi his chancellor. Wu's reforms began to transform Chu into an efficient and powerful state in 389 BCE, as he lowered the salaries of officials and removed useless ones. He also enacted building codes to make the capital Ying seem less barbaric. Despite Wu Qi's unpopularity among Chu's ruling class, his reforms strengthened the king and left the state very powerful until the late 4th century BCE, when Zhou and Qin were ascendant. Chu's powerful army once again became successful, defeating the states of Wei and Yu. Yu was partitioned between Chu and Qi in either 334 or 333 BCE. However, the officials of Chu wasted no time in the revenge and Wu Qi was assassinated at King Dao's funeral in 381 BCE. Prior to Wu's service in the state of Chu, Wu lived in the state of Wei, where his military analysis of the 6 opposing states was recorded in his magnum opus, the Book of Master Wu. "If Chu," he said, "the Chu people are not strong. The lands stretch far and wide, and the government cannot effectively administer the expanse. Their troops are weary and although the formations are well ordered, they do not have the resources to maintain the positions for long. To defeat them, we must strike swiftly, unexpectedly and retreat quickly before they can counter-attack. This will create chaos in the formations and reduce their fighting spirit. If we strike repeatedly, it will wear them out. Thus, with persistence, their army can be defeated." During the late Warring States period, Chu was increasingly pressured by Qin to its west, especially after Qin enacted and preserved the legalistic reforms of Shangyang. In 241 BCE, 5 of the 7 major warring states, Chu, Zhou, Wei, Zhan and Han, formed an alliance to fight the rising power of Qin. King Wu of Chu was named the leader of the alliance and Lord Chanshen the military commander. According to historian Yang Quan, the Zhou general Pang Yuan was the actual commander in the battle. The allies attacked Qin at the strategic Hangwu Pass but were defeated. King Wu blamed Lord Chanshen for the loss and began to mistrust him. Afterwards, Chu moved its capital east to Shouchun, farther away from the threat of Qin. Chu's size and power made it the key state in alliances against Qin. As Qin expanded into Chu territory, Chu was forced to expand southwards and eastwards, absorbing local cultural influences along the way. By the late 4th century BCE, however, Chu's prominent status had fallen into decay. As a result of several invasions headed by Zhou and Qin, Chu was eventually subjugated by Qin. Defeat according to the records of the warring states. A debate between the diplomat-strategist Zhang Yi and the Qin general Sima Cuo led to 2 conclusions concerning the unification of China. Zhang Yi argued in favor of conquering Han and seizing the mandate of heaven from the powerless Zhou king would be wise. Sima Cuo, however, considered that the primary difficulty was not legitimacy but the strength of Qin's opponents. He argued that conquering Shu is conquering Chu, and, once Chu is eliminated, the country will be united. The importance of Shu in the Sichuan basin was its great agricultural output and its control over the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, leading directly into the Chu heartland. King Huai of Qin opted to support Sima Cuo, In 316 BCE, Qin invaded and conquered Chu and nearby Ba, expanding downriver in the following decades. In 278 BCE, the Qin general Bai Qi finally conquered Chu's capital at Ying. Following the fall of Ying, the Chu government moved to various locations in the east until settling in Shouchun in 241 BCE. After a massive 2-year struggle, Bai Qi lured the main Zhou force of 400,000 men onto the field, surrounding them and forcing the surrender at Changping in 260 BCE. The Qin army massacred the prisoners, removing the last major obstacle to Qin dominance over the Chinese states. By 225 BCE, only 4 kingdoms remained: Qin, Chu, Zhan, and Qi. Chu had recovered significantly enough to mount serious resistance, despite its size, resources, and manpower, though Chu's corrupt government worked against it. In 224 BCE, Ying Zhang called for a meeting with his subjects to discuss his plans for the invasion of Chu. Wang Jian said that the invasion force needed to be at least 600,000 strong, while Li Xin thought that less than 200,000 men would be sufficient. Ying Zhang sided with Li and ordered him and Menwu to lead the army against Chu. Wang Jian was forced to retire from state affairs upon a pretense of illness. The Qin armies scored initial victories as Li Xin's force conquered Pingyu and Menwu's captured Qingqiu. After conquering Yan, Li Xin led his army west to rendezvous with Meng at Chengfu. The Chu army, led by Xiang Yan, had avoided using its main force and waited for an opportunity to launch a counterattack. They secretly followed Li Xin's army for 3 days and 3 nights, before launching a surprise offensive and defeating the Qin army. Upon learning of Li's defeat, Ying Zheng visited the exiled Wang Jian in person and invited him back, putting Wang in command of the 600,000-strong army he had requested earlier and placing Menwu beneath him as a deputy. Worried that the Qin tyrant might fear the power he now possessed and order him executed upon some pretense, Wang Jian constantly sent messengers back to the king in order to remain in contact and reduce the king's suspicion. Wang Jian's army passed through southern Chen and made camp at Pingyu. The Chu armies under Xiang Yan used the full strength against the camp, but failed. Wang Jian ordered his troops to defend the positions firmly but avoid advancing further into Chu territory. After failing to lure the Qin army into an attack, Xiang Yan ordered a retreat. Wang Jian seized this opportunity to launch a swift assault. The Qin forces pursued the retreating Chu forces to Qinan, and Xiang Yan was either killed in the action or committed suicide following his defeat. The next year, in 223 BCE, Qin launched another campaign and captured the Chu capital Shouchun. King Chu was captured and his state annexed. The following year, Wang Jian and Menwu led the Qin army against Wu Yu around the mouth of the Yangtze, capturing the descendants of the royal family of Yu. These conquered territories became the Huai prefecture of the Qin Empire. At the peak, Chu and Qin together fielded over 1 million troops, more than the massive Battle of Changping between Qin and Zhou 35 years before. The excavated personal letters of 2 regular Qin soldiers, Heifu and Jing, tell of a protracted campaign in Huai under Wang Jian. Both soldiers read letters requesting supplies of clothing and money from home to sustain the long-waiting campaign. Qin and Han dynasties. The Chu realm at its most powerful was vast, with many ethnicities and various customs. Though diverse, the Chu people were united by common respect for nature, the supernatural, and the heritage and loyalty to the ruling house and nobility, epitomized by the famed Chu statesman poet Qiu Yuan and the songs of Chu. The Chu populace in areas conquered by Qin openly ignored the stringent Qin laws and governance, as recorded in the excavated bamboo slips of a Qin administrator in Hubei. Chu was one of the last states to fall, and its people aspired to overthrowing the painful yoke of Qin rule and re-establishing a separate state. The attitude was immortalized in a Chinese expression about implacable hostility. Though Chu have but 3 clans, it must kill Qin. After Yingzheng declared himself the first emperor and served his short reign, the people of Chu and its former ruling house organized the first violent insurrections against the new Qin administration. They were especially resentful of the King Corvée. Folk poems record the mournful sadness of Chu families whose men worked in the frigid north to construct the Great Wall of China. The day's Zhang Uprising occurred in 209 BCE under the leadership of a Chu peasant, Chen Sheng, who proclaimed himself king of rising Chu. This uprising was crushed by the Qin army, but it inspired a new wave of other rebellions. One of the leaders, King Wu of Chu, proclaimed himself the new king of Chu. Wu was defeated by another rebel force under Xiang Liang. Xiang installed Zhou Xin, a son of Chu's traditional royal family, on the throne of Chu under the regnal name King Huai II. In 206 BCE, after the fall of the Qin Empire, Xiang Yu, Xiang Liang's nephew, proclaimed himself the hegemonic king of Western Chu, and promoted King Huai II to Emperor Yi. He subsequently had Yi assassinated. Xiang Yu then engaged with Liu Bang, another prominent Chu rebel, in a long struggle for supremacy over the lands of the former Qin Empire, which became known as the Chu-Han contention. The conflict ended in victory for Liu Bang. He proclaimed the Han dynasty and was later honored with the temple name Gaozu, while Xiang Yu committed suicide in defeat. The Chu people and customs were major influences on the new era of the Han. Liu Bang immediately enacted a more traditional and less intrusive administration than the Qin before him, made peace with the Zhou through Heqin intermarriages, rewarded his allies with large fiefdoms, and allowed the population to rest from centuries of warfare. By the time of Emperor Wu of Han, Chu folk culture and aesthetics were amalgamated with the Han-sponsored Confucian tradition and Qin-influenced central governance to create a distinct Chinese culture. Based on the archaeological finds, Chu's culture was initially quite similar to that of the other Zhou states of the Yellow River Basin. Subsequently, however, Chu absorbed indigenous elements from the Beiyu lands the state conquered to its south and east, developing a distinct culture from the states of the northern plains. Early Chu burial offerings consisted primarily of bronze vessels in the Zhou style. Later Chu burials, especially during the warring states, featured distinct burial objects, such as colorful lacquer, iron, and silk, accompanied by a reduction in bronze vessel offerings. A common Chu motif was the vivid depiction of wildlife, mystical animals, and natural imagery, such as snakes, dragons, phoenixes, tigers, and free-flowing clouds and serpent-like beings. Some archaeologists speculate that Chu may have had cultural connections to the vanished Shang dynasty, since many motifs used by Chu appeared earlier at Shang sites such as serpent-tailed gods. Later Chu culture was known for its affinity for shamans. The Chu culture and government strongly supported Taoism and native shamanism, supplemented with some Confucian glosses on Zhou ritual. The naturalistic and flowing art, the songs of Chu, historical records, excavated bamboo documents such as the Guodian slips, and other artifacts reveal heavy Taoist and native folk influence in Chu culture. The disposition to a spiritual, or often pleasurable and decadent lifestyle, and the confidence in the size of the Chu realm led to the inefficiency and eventual destruction of the Chu state by the ruthless legalist state of Qin. Even though the Qin realm lacked the vast natural resources and waterways of Chu, the Qin government maximized its output under the efficient minister Shang Yang, installing a meritocracy focused solely on agricultural and military might. Chu was known for its distinct music. Archaeological evidence shows that Chu music was annotated differently from Zhou. Chu music also showed an inclination for using different performance ensembles, as well as unique instruments. In Chu, the shui was preferred over the zither, while both instruments were equally preferred in the northern Zhou states. Chu came into frequent contact with other peoples in the south, most notably the Ba, Yu, and Abayu. Numerous burials and burial objects in the Ba and Yu styles have been discovered throughout the territory of Chu, coexisting with Chu-style burials and burial objects. The early rulers of the Han dynasty romanticized the culture of Chu, sparking a renewed interest in Chu cultural elements such as the songs of Chu. Evidence of heavy Chu cultural influence appears at Muamdui. After the Han dynasty, some Confucian scholars considered Chu culture with distaste, criticizing the lewd music and shamanistic rituals associated with Chu culture. Chu artisanship shows a mastery of form and color, especially the lacquer woodworks. Red and black pigmented lacquer were most used. Silk weaving also attained a high level of craftsmanship, creating lightweight robes with flowing designs. These examples were preserved in waterlogged tombs where the lacquer did not peel off over time and in tombs sealed with coal or white clay. Chu used the complex calligraphic script called Birds and Worms style, which was borrowed by the Wu and Yu states. It has an intricate design that embellishes the characters with motifs of animals, snakes, birds, and insects. This is another representation of the Chu reverence of the natural world and its liveliness. Chu produced broad bronze swords that were similar to Wu Yu swords but not as intricate. Chu was in the region of many rivers, so it created an efficient riverine transport system of boats augmented by wagons. These are detailed in bronze tallies with gold inlay regarding trade along the river systems connecting with those of the Chu capital at Ying. List of states annexed by Chu. 863 BCE 704 BCE Quan 688 680 BCE Shen 684 680 BCE Shi 678 BCE Deng 648 BCE Hu Wang after 643 BCE Dao 623 BCE Jiang 622 BCE Liao after 622 BCE Ruo 611 BCE Yong after 506 BCE Suai 512 BCE Zhou 479 BCE Chen 445 BCE Qi 447 BCE Kai 431 BCE Zhu after 418 BCE Pai about 348 BCE Zhao 334 BCE Yu 249 BCE Lu. Rulers. Early rulers. Jillian, married by Jui, granddaughter of Shang dynasty King Pangang, adopted me as ancestral name. Yingbo, son of Jillian. Yu Zhong, ruled 11th century BCE, also called Zhu Zhong, teacher of King Wu of Chu. Zhongli, ruled 11th century BCE, son of Yu Zhong, first use of clan name Yan, later written as Zhong. Zhong Quang, ruled 11th century BCE, son of Zhongli. Viscounts Zhongyi, ruled 11th century BCE, son of Zhong Quang, infofed by King Chang of Zhou. Zhongai, ruled c. 977 BCE, son of Zhongyi, defeated and killed King Zhou of Zhou. Zhongdan, ruled c. 941 BCE, son of Zhongai, defeated King Mu of Zhou. Zhongsheng, son of Zhongdan. Zhongyang, younger brother of Zhongsheng. Qiu, son of Yang, gave the title king to his three sons. Kang, son of Qiu. Shiji says Kang died early without ascending the throne, but the Xinhua bamboo slips recorded him as the successor of Qiu. Zhi, son of Kang, abdicated due to illness. Yan ruled, -848 BCE, younger brother of Zhi. Yong ruled 847–838 BCE, son of Yan. Yan ruled 837–828 BCE, brother of Yong. Shuang ruled 827–822 BCE, son of Yan. Zun ruled 821–800 BCE, youngest brother of Shuang. Yi ruled 799–791 BCE, son of Zun. Ruo ruled 790–764 BCE, son of Yi. Xiao ruled 763–758 BCE, son of Ruo. Fen Mao ruled 757–741 BCE, son of Xiao. King Wu of Chu ruled 740–690 BCE, either younger brother or younger son of Fen Mao, murdered son of Fen Mao and usurped the throne, declared himself first king of Chu. King Wen of Chu ruled 689–677 BCE, son of King Wu, moved the capital to Ying. Juangao ruled 676–672 BCE, son of King Wen, killed by younger brother, the future King Cheng. King Chang of Chu ruled 671–626 BCE, brother of Dao, defeated by the state of Jin at the Battle of Chengpu. Husband to Zhang Mao, he was murdered by his son, the future King Mu. King Mu of Chu ruled 625–614 BCE, son of King Cheng. King Zhuang of Chu ruled 613–591 BCE, son of King Mu, defeated the state of Jin at the Battle of Bai, and was recognized as a hegemon. King Gong of Chu ruled 590–560 BCE, son of King Zhuang, defeated by Jin at the Battle of Chengpu. King Kang of Chu ruled 559–545 BCE, son of King Gong. Jirao ruled 545–541 BCE, son of King Kang, murdered by his uncle, the future King Ling. King Ling of Chu ruled 540–529 BCE, uncle of Jirao and younger brother of King Kang, overthrown by his younger brothers and committed suicide. Xiao ruled 529 BCE, younger brother of King Ling, committed suicide. King Ping of Chu ruled 528–516 BCE, younger brother of Xiao, tricked Xiao into committing suicide. King Zhou of Chu ruled 515–489 BCE, son of King Ping. The state of Wu captured the capital Ying and he fled to the state of Huai. King Hui of Chu ruled 488–432 BCE, son of King Zhou. He conquered the states of Ka and Chen. The year before he died, Marquis Yi of Zheng died, so he made a commemorative bill and attended the marquis's funeral at Zhou. King Jian of Chu ruled 431–408 BCE, son of King Hui. King Sheng of Chu ruled 407–402 BCE, son of King Jian. King Dao of Chu ruled 401–381 BCE, son of King Sheng. He made Wu Qi chancellor and reformed the Chu government and army. King Su of Chu ruled 380–370 BCE, son of King Dao. King Shan of Chu ruled 369–340 BCE, brother of King Su. Defeated and annexed the Zhou state around 348 BCE. King Wu of Chu ruled 339–329 BCE, son of King Shan, defeated and partitioned the Yu state with Qi state. King Huai of Chu ruled 328–299 BCE, son of King Wei, was tricked and held hostage by the state of Qin until death in 296 BC. King Xiang of Chu ruled 298–263 BCE, son of King Huai. As a prince, one of his elderly tutors was buried at the site of the Guodian Chu slips in Hubei. The Chu capital of Ying was captured and sacked by Qin. King Kaili of Chu ruled 262–238 BCE, son of King Xiang. Moved capital to Shouchun. King Yu of Chu ruled 237–228 BCE, son of King Kaili. King Ai of Chu ruled 228 BCE, brother of King Yu, killed by Fuchu. Fuchu ruled 227–223 BCE, brother of King Ai, captured by Qin troops and deposed. Lord Changping ruled 223 BCE, brother of Fuchu, killed in battle against Qin. Pretenders. Chen Shang as King Yin of Chu ruled 210–209 BCE. Jingju as King Jia of Chu ruled 209–208 BCE. Zhongxin as Emperor Yi of Chu ruled 208–206 BCE, grandson or great-grandson of King Huai. Xiang Yu as Hegemon King of Western Chu ruled 206–202 BCE. Famous people. Qiu Yuan, famed for his poetry and the story that his suicide inspired the Dragon Boat Festival. Lord Chunshen, one of the four lords of the warring states. Xiang Yu, the hegemon king of Western Chu who defeated the Qin at Julu and vied with Liu Bang in the Chu-Han contention. Liu Bang, founder of the Han dynasty. Chu in astronomy. In traditional Chinese astronomy, Chu is represented by a star in the 12 states asterism, part of the girl lunar mansion in the black turtle symbol. Opinions differ, however, as to whether that star is Fire 24 Capricorni. It is also represented by the star Epsilon Ophrah Suchi in the right wall asterism in the heavenly market enclosure.